Hi, I'm Donna Messer and I'm here with Joy, and you're watching Jennifer Beals Business Unleashed TV, and I'm taking the dog home.
If you don't know her already, you've got to know Donna Messer. She's the queen of business networking in Canada. And Donna, we've known each other for some time. I want to welcome you to the show. We've known each other about 12 years now, since I started networking.
I know.
You are like an icon. Everybody knows you. If you don't, you got to know her.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So,
Jen, how did we meet? Do you remember?
I do. I had started biznetworknews.com. My newsletter that had all the listings of all the business networking, which I still do.
Yes.
And there was always, each month, I think we did at the time, there was a article.
Yes.
And I was really nervous because I knew you were like this big, well-networked person.
Oh, yeah.
And I approached you and I asked you, would you write an article for it? And you did.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And you were shy in those days.
I was pathetically
no
shy.
one would ever believe that Jennifer Beal today was the Jennifer Beal who was, gee, I don't want to impose. It changed. Do you think it changed because you learned how to network?
It changed because I learned how to network. Networking's empowering. It really is. To learn how to have a conversation with people. It's giving people, being able to receive, needing to learn how to receive.
And being able to say it's not just about me. And I think that one of the things that we've learned is that networking is a group activity. It doesn't have to be a singular. So if we can look at groups that we can belong to, whether they're masterminds or BNIs or whatever, it doesn't matter. If we can take part and really do our part in it, we can benefit.
Well, do you remember when you started Success Teams?
Yes, I do.
I was in the very first Success Team, which is probably almost 12 years ago.
Yes.
11 and a half years ago.
Yes, and the clock would tick. And you had to say what you wanted to accomplish, and then it was the role of all of the people who were in the room to help each other accomplish. That was phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, you're still doing them.
I am, but I changed the names. I have success teams, I have solution teams, I have power teams, and all of them are men and women who want to achieve something, but they're not exactly sure how to do it. So they come in, they check it out, and then they go, yep, that's for me.
And you teach people how to network, and you also work with people when they're at the groups to connect them. Because you see, right? You see how dots connect very readily.
Yes.
You do that in the larger groups too, in the meetings, which I love. I
They're
just love when you do that.
fun.
Who are you?
Yes, I want to know who you are. I'm an accountant. That's not good enough. I want to know what you specialize in. Oh, okay. International, great. Taxes, fine. So yes, I'm really good at putting the fear of God or the fear of Donna into people.
Just say yes.
Yes, just
say yes to Donna.
Just say yes. And if you say yes, and you recognize that it's about you, not me. And that's the secret of how I network. I am not the important person. It's who I know that I can share with that person that will be perfect. So if I use today as an example, I have a group of actors, producers, directors that want a site to do a film shoot. Now, if I can talk to the people who run this organization and say, who do you know? Who's going to benefit? Them, the actors, the producers, the directors, and me.
I know, and that was great the way you walked in here immediately. And Lena, who does everybody's hair.
Exactly.
Lena, and we're in her studio right now, and you sat down and started talking, and you gave her ideas immediately about ACTRA.
That's right.
And you're on fire, aren't you, Lena?
I am.
Lena's on fire.
And she's got her phone, and she's checking me out, and she's going, oh, wow, look at who she knows. But that's not all, because then I look at the photographer, and I look at the makeup people, and I think, okay, who do I know? And how can I share who I know? Because well, networking is key. You can hang a sign around your neck and say, I'm the best network in the world. But if it's all about you, it isn't going to work. You got to walk out of this house, this building, and you want somebody to say, that's Jennifer. Let me tell you what I know about Jennifer. And it shouldn't be she. It should be, let me tell you what Jennifer did for me. That's the secret of good networking.
Okay. So how do you go about getting that? People to say, well, I can say it about you.
And I can
Let
say
me
it about
tell
you
you about Donna, because what you have done for me, well, you wrote that article that first time. You've helped to spread the word about me. I know every time I've shown up at one of your events, when I've stood up, you've always connected me to other people in the room that were in meaningful connections.
And that is because I hold you accountable. If you were just, it's all about me, then it wouldn't work for me. So I know and trust, you're going to go out and take that introduction and move it around. I'm going to follow it through social media or whatever, and magic is going to happen.
And you know, I've always appreciated you so much, because when I get these ideas and I call you up and I say, you're doing your book launch, can I do the book launch for you? And then we went ahead and we did the event, and like just getting the people there, and the people are wowed. And for me, that's what I want to do, is create an environment in an event where people go, wow. That was great.
It was.
I'm leaving with huge value, and you always create that when you're in the room.
Well, you know,
I've always enjoyed working with you and having you at the event.
Well, if we go back to that book launch, it was at the Science Center.
Yeah.
And you brought a bunch of people in. I talked, I signed books, I did a bunch of things. But what happened was your photographer took a great picture, which I then sent out to all of the media with a media release. They picked up right across the province, and your photographer got credit for that picture. Hey.
As well as an article about your
Absolutely.
book launch
and where it was and how it came about. So networking, in my perspective, is about everything that I'm about. So I told you a couple of stories today. One of my teams right now has a lot of academics in it. And what's happening is with people with PhDs, postdocs, masters, they're clever. But they're so clever that they talk in academic language, and people don't understand them. So they come to me, and I dumb them down. And you know, it's fun, and I make them laugh, and then they can find that special need that they have. Many of the people I'm working with today are not necessarily unemployed, but in transition from where they have been to where they want to go, and that's how I can help them.
Now, you've had success story after success story, and I know my success has been based because I connected with you right in the beginning.
Absolutely.
And I asked you questions, you know, and you know, we sat down, you coached me.
Absolutely.
Remember that was back in the day with the cassettes?
Oh, yes.
And you tape recorded it, and I had a cassette that I took home and I could listen to.
Yes.
But it's important, I think, for us to get around people, leaders and mentors, and let people teach us how to actually do stuff.
I agree.
Like how to do this networking really, really well, because it's not just about shoving the cards in or telling people what we do. It really is what you're talking about here, about building the relationship. And I've got to say this. Well, one, I'm so glad you're in my network. I'm so glad that we've, you know, done a lot of things together. It's in that process of getting to know each other that I think the true passion for networking is for me, because of you and other people that I've gotten to know and I've known over the years, and the relationship keeps building. And through that, I mean, now we've got John and Jen and Lena and all these people that I've known for a while. We're doing this project together as well, and it comes from that familiarity. So the thing about groups is we keep coming back when we go to a group. We join a group and really get to know people in that, right? And so much more can happen than just walking around a room and
Well, I think the secret in networking is the work. If you don't put it in, you don't get it out.
You don't, yeah. And she loves you too. Look
I
at
know,
this.
I love this girl.
I know.
And you know, I've met her when you first got her, and I would have stolen her.
I know, she's a great little networker.
Yes, yes, and she knows that she's equally important. Yes.
So why don't you tell everybody where they can connect with you? Well, you want to be connected with her just to be connected with you, because you are always sharing and adding value to people's lives all the time, but also these success teams. So why don't you just tell everybody where you are, how to get in touch with you so that they can stay connected as well?
Well, I think there's going to be something on the bottom of this, so that's great. It's my website.
This website down
If
here.
anyone wants to follow me, it's Talk to Donna. My radio program is Talk to Donna. And my name is Donna Messer, and I will help anyone I can, but I hold you accountable.
And you hold people accountable.
Absolutely.
Thanks, and that's very important.
It is.
Thanks so much, Donna.
Love it. Thanks very much, Jen. I appreciate the interview.